Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a quick look here again at Chainlink, seeing kind of what's going on from our most recent analysis. Looks like the price has broken down a little bit further and we established lower lows, swept that lower liquidity level. So this is actually kind of a good sign because now that sell side liquidity has been swept, we should be able to experience somewhat of a recovery. And it's not a guarantee, but there's a strong chance that could happen. Keep in mind we did break it down below this this trend line here with short-term trend line, and that's never a great sign. So again, we're going to talk about a few things and just kind of have some open, honest conversation here regarding this coin, completely unbiased, and you should too. Again, consider not getting emotionally attached to a coin. All right. So that said, if you're not a financial advisor, neither am I. I'm glad to have you here. Thanks so much. Be sure to like the video before we continue. Deeply appreciate that. Obviously, comment below what kind of position do you have open with Chainlink. Quickly note, we have a fantastic exchange, no KYC, no VPN with Bitunix. Recent partnership there. I'm pushing this because I want to be able to get trading competitions out for you. There's some awesome benefit rewards, and they offer trading competitions and just some really, really cool features like trailing stop losses, multiple profit targets, things you don't really see on a lot of exchanges. So thanks Bitget for awesome opportunities for our US and Canadian members who are struggling with KYC and VPN. So when it comes to Chainlink, let's go ahead and work our way down from the top end. We also want to take a quick look on the back end here and kind of see what's up, right? What's going on here? So take a look. Ooh, this is juicy. Okay, take a look at this here. Now that most of the lower liquidity levels have been swept, you can kind of see this here and this here. We had a decent amount of liquidity swept about 1350. Again, the most recent low swept those lower longs. Okay, now that those have been swept, what do you think is the next target for the whales? Right there at about 1550, upwards of about 1650. So 1550 to 1650 is a pretty juicy target there for a lot of longs. In other words, let's take a quick look. So 1550 right here, upwards of right here. This is the range we're likely to see retested based on liquidity levels needing to be swept. Okay, now again, there's no guarantees they're going to get swept, and it doesn't just mean that the price is going to shoot up from here because of that. It does imply, however, that if we can break through some of these resistance levels here, this volume profile, for example, we're going to be in good shape to be able to see those levels swept. Okay, again, a lot of that's contingent on Bitcoin not having a bad day like it was recently. Yesterday was pretty rough. And if it closes today at roughly 36.5 or higher, we could be in good shape to see a green weekend for most alts. All right, so again, as Bitcoin dominance starts to kind of stabilize, we're starting to see some altcoins recover. And that's a great thing. All right, so quickly to note on the daily here, let's see what's going on. Well, RSI is coming on down. We're getting closer to 50. That's commonly a bouncing point. MACD is diverging, so we are officially, I wouldn't say officially bearish, but leaning more towards the price action having more propensity to come lower than it would be higher. Regardless of all those liquidity levels, that doesn't mean too much if we are below key levels. And right now, we are about 5 days into this continuation. We could see another 4 days of downside. We're testing the 20-day SMA. That's a positive sign as far as staying above all moving averages. But down here, if we do see MACD and RSI, those are more bearish. So we have still slightly more indication on the daily time frame we're bearish. We also want to recognize the tremendous amount of volume at $11. If the price does continue any lower, we could very well see a pullback of about 20% to bounce off that volume profile. That's a common reality too. Okay, so just something to kind of be mindful of there. We take a look at RSI. We got a nice little bounce off 30. That's a common place where a lot of folks will invest. Just based on it being overextended or oversold. It's not a guarantee it's going to continue higher. It just tells us that we're bouncing off that key level. Okay. We are also tentatively rejecting, which this is still early, of course, but we got the 100-day SMA kind of hanging out right there at the 1350 range. So a closure above that would be key. Just keep in mind, we're not out of the woods yet. We're underneath the 20 and the 50-day SMA. Those are typically bearish signs. So breaking above those would be a confirming factor for us, but we're not there yet. We've also got the convergence here on the horizon, but we're still a ways away from that. So it's trying to converge, but hasn't yet. Taking a quick look at fair value, just to clarify, that was swept, the sell side liquidity and the previous liquidity levels there. So fair value and liquidity are swept here. Once more, we still got this level here left remaining at about 1650 as a close approximate. Okay, so it makes sense for the price action to progress upwards from here. Keep in mind, we are fulfilling our ABC pattern after a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, Elliott Wave is coming to fruition here. So if this is the lowest point, which seems probable at this time, this immediate time, then hypothetically we are due for a reset here. What I mean by reset doesn't mean we're just going to instantly start another higher high and higher low pattern. It just implies that we've broken down enough to finish this trend and potentially start a new one. Okay, take a look at the hourly. Let's also note here as well with TD sequential on the hourly, we did hit 2 overextended states, all right? So 1 9 on TD sequential, 2 9s plus overtime. That really does imply that a response, a natural knee-jerk reaction for the price action recovering is higher than it is for the price action to continue lower, okay? When you have 2 9s on TD sequential, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, it increases the likelihood of a price reversing itself. Now, we didn't take a look at TD sequential on the 4 hour, but this is also a 9 here as well, and we had a previous 9 here too. That leads me to believe that this 72 to 100 and some odd hour continuation of the downside is coming to an end because of those factors, okay? And the hourly, take a look here at the cloud. This is a confirming factor letting us know that you probably shouldn't open a long position just yet. We don't have full-on confirmation. While we have a lot of other contributing factors on the 4 hour time frame that tells us we should see the price continue higher, we don't have any guarantees there. Again, keep in mind the price action could increase, and if it does, we have potential to come all the way up a good 4 or 5% to reject off this cloud. But the key takeaway here is that if you're underneath the cloud, the price comes up like this, it's commonplace for it to get rejected off the cloud. Okay? What we want to do is wait for the confirmation. So in other words, confirmation is this here where the price has been above the cloud for 2 or 3 hours. I have an Ichimoku Cloud video if you want to kind of learn how it works. I also have that in my private trading academy. I dive deeper if you're currently a premium member. But what I'm getting at here is that this indication right now tells us that everything's pointing down still. Okay, so the hourly hasn't truly reversed itself, but we're due for a correction likely to the upside because of all those overextensions. So it depends on how you look at it. To me, I think statistical probability of the price recovering is higher than it is to go lower. But once more, how high can it go? We truly have to break through this 1375 to 1470 range before we can, retest that upper liquidity level at 1650, 1670. So to me, at this point, I think it's still a little premature, but once more, more likelihood of the price recovering at least in the initial time frame here to get up to that 0.382 level at 1430. All right, so what are your thoughts? What are you thinking here? Do me a favor, comment below, like the video, let me know what you're thinking, and we can talk about it in the back end. If you want to jump on over to our Twitter, Discord, or Telegram group too, I have some awesome traders over there and just some really cool experiences here to be able to interact with our members. Again, congrats to our community members for some nice avalanche short and long positions there. And then, of course, we took some healthy profits here from our near trade, about 60% on near, and then also a nice 150% roughly from audio. Mind you, that did take 2 months, but it's no big deal because we took, 12 hours, roughly 13 hours for 56% on Solana. So again, it all averages out. That's what swing trading is for. I love swing trading, and it's my favorite thing. If you want part of that, of course, Crypto Cash Premium is linked down below. I look forward to working with you regardless of the situation. Thanks again so much for all the support I've received over the years. I greatly appreciate my viewers. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day.